Welcome everybody. Thanks for taking the time to go through the Dell Technologies Hybrid Cloud Blueprint. And we're going to take a few minutes today just to talk about the pitch that we're giving to our customers out in the marketplace. And it's been going very well. So where we start this pitch is we talk a little bit about why did Michael Dell buy EMC, right? And in our opinion, he bought it because he wanted to deliver hybrid cloud to the marketplace. So where we'd like to start is with some macro trends that we're seeing in the environment. So, first and foremost, we commissioned a study with IDC around 1,000 of our customers, just to kind of get a feel of the marketplace and see what our customers are feeling, right? And there's a few key ones that came out of this study that we really like to hone in on. And the first one is this idea of fear factor, if you will, right? So remember the Fear Factor show, kind of a cool show, right? So if you look at the fear factor here, 46% of those executives thought that they were going to be out of business in 5 years. It's a very powerful stat when you think about it. So that's across all industries. So obviously if you're talking to a public entity like the state of Illinois or the state of Indiana, they're probably not going to go out of business in the next 5 years, but it certainly means that that executive team has a very limited window to make true impact, right? So I think the stat can resonate across the board for those people. The next couple of stats that we take a look at that resonate really well are 71% of the budget and 90% of our customers' time are going to keeping the lights on, right? So a very powerful stat. All of our customers are feeling this from a budgetary standpoint, from a time standpoint. They're trying to do more with less. This is very important that we articulate to our customers that we get it. We're trying to solve for this. The next stat that came out of this that is very interesting to us is data is doubling every 2 years. Right? And more specifically, that's the unstructured data. And we talk a lot with our customers about the idea that 90% of the world's data, all of the world's data, has been created in the last 2 years as well. So very powerful, right? So the do more with less, again, from the last couple of metrics that we talked about, but we need to get that scale with our customers and help them figure out how are they going to handle this explosive growth. And the last one that we talk about is 33% of the lines of business are doing some sort of shadow IT. So when we think about the shadow IT problem, a couple years ago, the IT departments didn't know about it. Now they do know about it, and they're just trying to get their arms around it. If you're a hospital, you want to make sure that the patient data isn't getting out there. They're trying to secure it, right? So, and the reason that this 33% is here, and it's growing, by the way, is because of all these other factors up at the top, right? So we're not efficient as an IT organization. The business is just going to go straight around, and they're going to get their job done, right? 6 months is not acceptable. It needs to be 6 minutes now. So if we're talking in terms of why of our customers are going to cloud, that's our next stop. The first stop is it's very simple to get to the cloud. It doesn't take much. It takes a credit card in most instances to get out there and that sort of thing. And the things that our customers are trying to accomplish by that is they're trying to drive down cost and increase their time with that simplicity. And for the most part, we're seeing that, right? If you think about back 5, 7, 8 years ago, one of the biggest workloads we had in our portfolio was going to be Microsoft Exchange and email. Now we give our customers kind of a strange look if they're not on Office 365, right? So if a customer goes to Office 365, they're absolutely going to see this metric and this simplicity, and they're trying to scale that out to different offerings. The next one is it needs to be elastic. They're going there for elasticity, and they're going there for two different reasons. Number one is speed, and the second one is scale, right? Again, here in the simplicity, it's very fast. If it's elastic, it's very fast. They can do things on a dime, right? And as things scale out, as they're dealing with the data that's doubling every 2 years, they're able to scale very easily up and down in the cloud, and that's the attributes that they're looking for. The last part that we're looking for is really innovation, right? And how does cloud give you innovation? Well, it gives you innovation, in our opinion, in this way. It's going to give you a development platform to modernize your applications, right? It's very easy. So very few of our customers have an advanced, DevOps platform to go to market with, to test and bring new things. So they can use cloud public cloud for that offering. And the other thing is it gives you different cost models to consume it. For years and years and years, we've had to go into our customers and say, here's a $3 million solution, you should buy this. And the customer says, that sounds great, but what can I do for $200,000? I have 200 grand to prove this out, and then I'll spend the other $2.7 million. Can you help me with that? Well, cloud helps with that, right? It's easy to get in, it's a low cost barrier to entry, and then you can scale as it proves out. So that's why people are going. So if we're gonna help our customers with these attributes, what's the blueprint that we're trying to put together for them? So quite simply, in our opinion at Dell Technologies, the blueprint is this. You need some sort of portal, right? A shopping cart is a must. There needs to be business rules wrapped around that. They need to know who the person is and what they can access. You need to have automation and orchestration, right, to make things simple. So if we're going to drive down cost and increase time, we need these types of attributes into our hybrid cloud model. We call this the cloud foundation stack. And it's our opinion at Dell Technologies that you, the customer, owns the stack. You could outsource it to Amazon or Microsoft or whatever, but then you lose control of all of this IP here, right? And businesses are very dynamic, no matter what industry they're in. So what is living in the cloud today may need to come back. What's out in the cloud or what's on-prem might need to go into the cloud, right? So you need to be able to move back and forth and that sort of thing. And so when you own the cloud foundation stack, you have that ultimate ability to do that. That stack can plug into, infrastructure as a service, software as a service, platform as a service, and then purpose-built clouds, right? So when I think about purpose-built clouds, I'm thinking about a lot of our partners and regional partners, something like a TierPoint or something like that. They might have offerings for our customers that are purpose-built for whatever their use case is, right? So if all of that is working on the cloud foundation stack, we want that to also hook into the private cloud that our customers have been building for years. And what does a well-run private cloud look like? Well, it has software-defined networking, software-defined compute, software-defined storage, and software-defined data protection, right? This is that software-defined data center that everyone in that utopia that they're looking for. And when it's all modernized, software-driven, API-driven, you can move up and down the stack and in and out of the public clouds. And that's the utopia our customers are looking for, right? So how can we help from Dell Technologies' perspective? Well, the first area we can help you modernize, right? We want to help you modernize your infrastructure and modernize helping with automation. From an infrastructure perspective, the way that you modernize your data center today is there's a few key tenets that we need to have. Number one, it needs to be flash enabled. It needs to be software defined if it's going to hit into the software defined data center. It needs to be scale out, and it needs to be cloud enabled. If you have those four different tenets, you can build this software defined data center and build it up and be modernized, right? It's our opinion that you should just buy this. And you should do that with hyperconverged infrastructure, converged infrastructure, or even ready nodes, right? These are the ways that you can get to this value prop the quickest, right? So why build what you can buy? We've been talking to our customers about that for a long time. From an automation perspective, we have to automate the entire stack so that they can build out service delivery models, right? That's really what we're talking about. The utopia for most of our customers is to look like an Amazon or a cloud provider. You can do that by automating the full stack. And that's really the important part around service delivery. The next area that we can help is we can help you transform. And from a transformation perspective, we're really talking about the people and the organization. So when I talk to customers about this, the skill set to run this environment is much different than to change tapes or to be the server guy or gal and that sort of thing. So we have cloud architects, cloud operators, and different types of educational opportunities for our customers to dive in and tap into these skill sets. Also, it's going to involve you changing the organization from a customer's perspective. So the opportunity to work with us, and whether it's through services or through internal Dell technologies, we can help our customers understand how this is going to transform their organization from a people and process perspective, right? So we have to look at it outside of the lens of just the technology and put it into the people, because the people are what is going to drive this. So what have we seen over time? We've seen that our customers that are most successful, they're going to plan from the top down. So they're going to start with the shopping cart or the app or the service that they want to deliver, but they're going to execute from the bottom up, right? Very simple. You wouldn't build a house on a swamp. It's not going to work out well for you in the end. Same thing here. If you're up in the cloud foundation stack, trying to automate, a mess down below, it's going to be very complex, very hard. And what we're trying to do is simplify and drive time to value. So what have we seen from an outcome perspective for our customers? We've seen a couple different ones, right? First one is 24% reduction in the all-in cost that they spend on IT. So that's a lot of different things. That's infrastructure costs, software costs, maintenance bills. It's also the soft costs around people and FTEs and that sort of thing. So we can build out a financial profile that'll help our customers realize 24% or more, right? Second one is, when you get this service delivery model up and running, we see 96% less downtime. And that makes a lot of sense, right? If everything is simplified, software-defined, automated, we're taking out a lot of the human error and a lot of the different areas that are a gotcha for customers, and we're directly impacting the 90% over here by helping with that unplanned and planned downtime and driving it through the floor. And finally, we see that when you stand up service delivery inside of an organization and you realize the cost savings and the risk mitigation, there's a white paper out there that we can deliver to you as well that shows and proves out that we can increase revenue by $125K per year per 100 employees, right? That's a very important stat for our customers. So if you're talking to corporate America, this is increasing revenue for them. If you're talking to healthcare, for instance, one of the stats that we use is we've been able to help our customers. On average, a doctor sees about 1.7 patients per hour. We're driving that in this from a technology perspective to 3 patients per hour. So that's real revenue back to the hospital in that case, and it's better patient care for the patient. So as we talk about business outcomes, these are the outcomes that are really important for our customers, right? So how do you consume this? If your customer is interested, how can we go ahead and consume it? Well, we'll talk about it down here. There's a couple different ways to consume, right? And the first one is through utility-based models and pricing, right? So a lot of our customers want this public cloud flexibility, but they still have a hybrid, approach. We can give them with the DFS opportunities that we have and services to do it through a utility-based model. Secondly, we can help drive down those costs and simplify the organizations through our transformational licensing agreements. If this is of interest to a customer, we can talk about all the different values around abstracting the hardware from the software, driving down 20% or more costs, getting one key, and all the different aspects that go into the TLA. So it's a very powerful and a great message to be able to tell our customers up front on the whiteboard. And last, we can help you through services as well. When we think about services, I'm thinking more about the consulting services, right? So if a customer needs to stand this up very quickly, they can do that by engaging our consulting practices and building out this cloud model, and we can do it for them, in sometimes 60 to 90 days, right, depending on what the use case is. So what are our keys to success? We've delivered this over 100 times or 1,000 times to our customers over the last year, and it's very apparent where our keys to success are. So the first thing is we need to build out a tech profile, right? You deliver a go-to-market message, we deliver a tech profile for our customers. The second thing is we're going to deliver our customers the modern infrastructure assessments. Get your MIT or modern data center teams involved, run those assessments, and prove out from a technology perspective and a metric-based approach how we're going to help them get to these outcomes. The third thing we're going to do is we're going to build out that financial profile. We need to understand the cost from end to end, what our customers are spending over a 5-year period. That includes everything here in the cloud that they're spending. That includes everything that might be already invested in the portal. That certainly includes everything that we do down here in the data center, right? Build out that financial profile, show our customers that they're going to spend $15 million over 5 years, and then we can come in with a very strategic, transformational deal that's going to save them some money, right? And finally, once your customer is bought in on this, we have to get them to an EBC, right? This is a very high-level message, and we need to be able to dig in deep with our customers at an executive briefing and get the buy-in of the executives at our customers. When I kicked off the whiteboard, I talked about why did Michael Dell buy us, right? So how do the Dell Technologies family fit in to this whiteboard message? Well, they all do, and that's one of the most powerful parts about the whiteboard, right? So you think about Dell Inc. and where we came from, the clients, laptops, that sort of thing, they're coming right into the portal, right? So alive and well is the heritage of Dell. Dell EMC, we're right here. We're in the software-defined data center space. Hardware, software, services, architecture to modernize your data center. When we think about VMware, huge part of our business, right? They're up here and down here. So they're working on the cloud foundation stack, as well as software-defined networking, software-defined compute inside of the data center, right? Pivotal, we layer right on top of here, right? So our applications company, driving, agile development, cloud-native applications, all the cool, fun stuff. This is where Pivotal fits in for us. If you think about VirtuStream and what we can do there around enterprise SLAs in the cloud, multi-tenant, enterprise-level applications, not necessarily trying to compete at this point with Amazon and Azures and the Googles of the world, but if you want SAP or Epic in healthcare or those mission-critical applications, we have the cloud offering for that. And then finally, just kind of wrapping everything in a bow, right? So whether you're at the client level, whether you're in the data center, whether you're out in the cloud, RSA and SecureWorks are companies that can help you around security, because it's definitely a top 3 initiative for all customers. So thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. This is the whiteboard that we go to market with, and good selling. Thanks.